Hi, I'm Christian Triola, author of the Missing Method for Guitar book. And in this fingerpicking practice video, I'm going to show you how to play the intro to Dust in the Wind by Kansas. Now before we get started, make sure you download the PDF. It shows you everything you need to know in order to practice this song. Also, be sure to check out themissingmethod.com, and while you're there, if you sign up for our newsletter, you'll get a free ebook, so keep that in mind. All right, now let's get to the lesson. So Dust in the Wind is a perfect song for practicing finger picking. It has this pattern that goes throughout almost the whole song with just a few variations here and there, and it sounds really good, and yet it's not too difficult for new players to get. So we're going to take a close look at the intro on this, because once you have that, you can then find the rest of the song, and it's a lot of similar stuff with, like I said, a few exceptions here and there. And also the chords that are used are ones that most beginners won't find too troublesome. So let's first talk about the finger picking pattern. And what we have is a chord or partial chord on beat 1. So the first chord in the song is C major, so I'm going to use that as my example. So we have our first finger on the second string first fret, our second finger on the fourth string second fret, and then the third finger is on the fifth string third fret. So hopefully you already know that, but I wanted to go through it just in case you didn't. So then what you do is your thumb and middle fingers will play together. So those two notes are going to be the fifth string and the second string at the same time, and that's beat 1. The next thing you do is your thumb is now going to play the fourth string, which is the note E under your finger. Then your index finger will then pluck the third string. So for the first beat, you have 1 and So chord, thumb, index. After that, your thumb then plays the low C note again, the fifth string. Your middle finger plays the second string. Your thumb then plays the fourth string, and then your index finger plays the third string again. So you have thumb, middle, thumb, index. So far we have chord, thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index. And that pattern is then repeated right away in that same measure. So again, chord, thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index. So when you put that up to speed, and then right away you're doing that same pattern again, but now the chord changes. We go from a C major to a C major 7th. So if you've never played one of those before, it's actually really easy. It's also in the book Guitar Chord Master 2. That is a good book to learn some of these other chords in when they have more colorful sounds to them. So C major, we'll start with that. Now to play C major 7th, all you do is you take your C chord and you pull off your first finger. So your second string is now open. So we're going to play that same finger picking pattern on C major 7th. So you can hear it's got kind of an unusual sound on the downbeat. So it's C and B, then thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index. And that completes the first full measure. So again, we start with C, C major 7, you can hear it sounds really cool. You can hear that melody that's created by changing the chord from major to major 7th. The next chord we have is called C add 9. Now that add 9 means you're adding a note that is 9 notes away from C in alphabetical order. So if you count that up, it's C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. So we're adding the note D to a C chord. So to do that on the guitar, all you do is the C that you're already playing, put your pinky on the second string, 3rd fret, and you've got the Cadd9. So then the finger picking pattern's the same. Chord, or another way to say it, your thumb and middle fingers together. Thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index. So same as before. Play it up to speed. And it's just a beautiful sounding chord. It sounds great on the guitar. In fact, a lot of guitar songs that are written for beginners will include a Cadd9 just because it's easy to play and adds an extra dimension to your sound. All right, and then after that, in the same measure, we play just the regular C chord again using the same exact pattern we used at the beginning. And that covers the first 2 measures of that intro. So I'm going to play that all together. C, Cmaj7, Cadd9, C. Or now that's not something you'll be able to do right away, play it that fast. And that's perfectly normal. It takes a while to build up that speed. You just want to take it slow and evenly, and the key to it is to make it clear in your mind as to what comes next. Once you can do that, you'll start noticing this speed begin to increase over time. And for some people, it'll take a few weeks. For some people, it's a few months. And if you don't get a lot of practice, maybe even a few years, but hopefully it won't take you that long. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the next part of the song. We have 2 measures down. The next measure now changes the chord but keeps the finger pattern exactly the same. So the chord we're going to play next is called A suspended second, or Asus2. Now, it's a fancy name, but really it's really easy to play. Check it out. All you do is you have your 2 middle fingers on the 2 middle strings at the 2nd fret. So 3rd finger is on the 3rd string 2nd fret, and your middle finger is on the 4th string 2nd fret. That's all it is. And you have an Asus2 chord. Finger picking's the same. Just like that. The next one is A suspended 4th. So that means these 2 fingers are going to stay in the same spot, and now your pinky finger is going to come up and play that 3rd fret of string 2. So now it looks like this. These 2 are in the same spot, your pinky's up here. Now because of that, some of you may have a little bit of a hard time getting that pinky to fall into place. So this is one spot in the song you'll definitely want to take some time with to get that pinky to fall right on that note. Now you don't want to suddenly switch fingers, because in a moment we're going to need the index finger to play the 1st fret, but not yet. So this A suspended 4th, just play it like this. Now what we're going to do is play that whole measure, Asus2, Asus4. And there you go. Next measure, we're going to stay with this theme of A, but this time we're going to an A minor. So, like I said, you take your pinky off, you put your index finger on the 1st fret of string 2, and now you've got the A minor chord, same finger picking pattern. And then you end that section going back to the A suspended second. So that just means you take off your index finger. So line 2, or in other words, measures 3 and 4 of the song, start with the A suspended second, A sus4, A minor, A sus2. Then we move on. The next thing we play is that Cadd9. So this is a part that's a little bit tricky to get, because you want to get the Cadd9 with the pinky plus your other 2 fingers, have them down as if it was a regular C chord. So it's on fret 3 of string 5 and fret 2 of string 4. Same finger picking pattern again. Then we switch to C, moving the pinky off, putting your 1st finger down at the 1st fret of the 2nd string. Then continuing on, we simply remove the 1st finger and do a C major 7th chord. And then to finish that section, put your pinky back down for the Cadd9. All right, so that's line 3 of the PDF. I'm going to go ahead and play all of line 3 of the PDF. So here we go. All right, now we're closing in on the last 2 parts, so it switches back to all those different A chords. What I like to think of is that the first line is basically a C chord, and then we just move that note around on the second string. The second line is basically an A minor chord, but we're moving some notes around on the second string. Third line back to the C chord. Last line back to the A minor. So we start with a regular A minor at the beginning of the last line, and we have the same finger picking pattern. A suspended second is next, so you just remove the index finger. Go to A suspended fourth, put the pinky down. And then we come to the very end of the intro, which leads us into the first verse. So because of that, it's a little bit different. First, we have the A minor chord. We play the thumb and middle fingers together, just as before. Then we play the second fret of the 4th string with the thumb, index finger again. So that part is pretty much like we've done before, chord, thumb, index. But then we play thumb and middle together using the 5th and 2nd strings. Then we switch chords to a G/B chord, which means our pinky is going to go to the note D, or the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and the middle finger is going to go to the note B, which is that /B on the 5th string, 2nd fret. And you can hear that sets you up for the first chord of the verse. So here's the very ending, starting with the A minor. A minor, A sus2, A sus4, A minor, and then the song begins. Okay, so I'm going to go through the whole form so you can hear the entire intro of Dust in the Wind. I'm going to play it slowly so you can follow everything that's going along, and then I'll play it pretty close to speed. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and here it is, almost up to tempo. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And there you go. That is the intro to Dust in the Wind. So if you want to, of course, practice that nice and slowly, it takes a long time to get that up to speed, like I was mentioning earlier. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video and now know how to play a little bit of Dust in the Wind. And like I said, you can take that and learn the rest of the song based on that idea. You can find the rest of the song, of course, on Songster, Ultimate Guitar, and a whole lot of other places that have free tabs. Also, please do give me a like and subscribe. I always appreciate it when people do that. And then don't forget about going to the website, themissingmethod.com, to check out the free ebook and sign up for the newsletter. All right, we'll go ahead and get to practicing, and I will see you in the next video.